Hi guys, before we start working and rotoscoping for the whole duration of the video, I would like to show you what's happening in the timeline. If you scroll down here, you will notice that you have a series of strokes. They are all grouped under strokes over here. And you have edge refinement, for example, you have foreground and you have background. Let's go to the first stroke we have put. It is the foreground one. So you notice it's a roto brush, which means it's going to give you a brush stroke here. Just like the brush tool or the eraser tool, for example, you will get certain strokes. The foreground strokes are the ones that are selecting your foreground. Your background strokes are the ones that are deselecting your background, as this. It's very nice, by the way, to work with these ones. So actually you have properties for each stroke. You have the stroke option, for example. You can even scrub through it. That is a kind of trim path if you like. You can animate it. You can change the diameter, the angle, the hardness. Okay, all these properties you can come over and play with them. And also for the background strokes, you have exactly the same. You have the stroke options with all the properties that you can even animate. So it becomes actually pretty interesting to work with them. I must confess this is quite advanced and it's quite hard to adjust them from here. But nevertheless, if you come to the timeline, you will notice that these are the strokes and each one of them is 1 frame long. Now we want to go ahead and propagate all our strokes for the duration of the video. And more, when After Effects selected a background, we want to deselect this background, so we'll add a background stroke. And when After Effects did not select the foreground, we are going to add another foreground stroke, and we go on until the end of the footage. You notice over here you have a bar which has some kind of arrows. This is going forward. It means After Effects will work 20 frames at a time. Notice if I go to 20 frames, actually it's exactly 20 frames. That is the steps, if you like, 20 frames at a time. And you have the green, this has been rendered. So how do you work here? Well, some people decide, okay, to press spacebar and to play, so After Effects will render according to the strokes. But I do prefer to go a frame at a time. And believe me, when you go a frame at a time, it will be much easier because you can see exactly what's happening and you don't have to go back and forth and try to figure out what After Effects missed. So I will click on the playhead in the layer and just press page down. And notice that After Effects has moved the strokes with the foreground. Another page down, and it's still okay. Everything is selected in its right way, foreground and background. And we go on, here you are, until we find a certain problem. For example, I don't know, it's doing very well until now. We are going to miss this hair, but I'm going to go for it and miss it. There's no problem. And we go on. So notice there is a green line over here. This means this has been rendered. Let's go ahead again. And here you are. Some problems are going to start, which is over here. It's your choice to start deselecting this one or leave it until it becomes a bit bigger. Maybe if necessary. I will leave it. It's okay. Then we're looking at the camera, the face and everything. We want the boundaries to be quite correct. Okay, that's another one. Notice how I'm doing it. I'm waiting it for it to render. Not just press page down. You want it to render. Notice what's happening here. Now we are at 20 frames and the arrows have finished. Well, I can come over, and that's what I usually do, and stretch them just to the end. I don't care. And then start going again, page down for each one of them. And look if I have any problems. Well, this is a very good way to work because you will spot the problem and fix it immediately. You don't have to wait for, until the end. It has played. Where is the problem? Here you are. I'm going to go a bit faster. And this is our first problem over here. Okay. You notice here, we have a background selected. We need to deselect this one. I will go page up, meaning backward, then forward. Okay. Starting from this frame. I press Alt and zoom in. And then press Ctrl to make the brush very small. And I'm at the bottom here, so I press Alt to remove. I'm going to select this area. Okay, notice it has selected very well. Now, when you have a trouble area, maybe you want to go page down and look at this trouble area until you notice there is no more trouble. I think he got it. Okay, After Effects got it. So now I will zoom out. Okay, and go backward, right? Okay, this is how I work. You might invite another way, it's okay. And I'm noticing here that the camera is not being selected. If I go to the alpha, you will notice like there is something wrong with the camera. Let's go for a zoom here. And yes, I was right. So I'm gonna select this part of the camera. Okay, that's fine now. And notice in the timeline, it has added at the time where I am a foreground and a background. The background was before. Now, let's go back to 100% and go page down again. Well, we're starting to have some problems. Okay, you notice this area over here. I press Alt, zoom in. I need to go up, and here you are. I press Alt for negative or removing background. I just select this area, and hopefully it will do a good job. Excellent job if you notice. Now I'll go back to 100%, and I think we're still cool everywhere else. And if you notice here, we have a problem with the camera again. But I want to go back and make sure I didn't notice this problem before. So I will zoom in. Notice the camera is not selected. And reselect the camera. Okay, guys? See what's going to happen. Select this part of the camera. And the fingers here. Maybe you need to do 2-3 passes here. We want this finger. Okay, we're cool a bit. Fine. I'm zooming out now. And let's go page up and notice, did we do any mistake? Okay, no, we're cool here. Go down. Still the camera is being deselected at this frame. So what I'm gonna do is to zoom in here. Okay, and select and stay zoomed in over here. And then go page down. Okay, to notice exactly what's happening. Well, I'm gonna go back, and here you are. The camera has been eaten up. And let's select it more. Okay, and the problem is coming from the refine edges here. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm selecting it very right. And again, and I hope After Effects will get it this time. Okay, I'm pretty fine. I don't want this area here. It makes the camera a bit distorted. Gonna remove it. Cool. Let's zoom out a bit, just a bit. Go page down. So we are going to select again. Okay. Here you are. Everything is fine. I hope so. Then go page down. And here you are. Now it's working very fine. Okay. Now you have this area here that has appeared. Let's go page up, and it starts from here. So I'm going to press Alt and remove this area, and hopefully it will work very fine. Okay. My stroke has been very bad. But actually it worked. I'm gonna add this piece here. Not bad at all. I'm doing a good job, right, guys? Talking to you also. So I'm gonna go another frame down, and here you are. We have another problem here. Let's try to remove this one. I doubt it will be removed. Well, After Effects is doing a great job. Let's go down again. Okay, so now it seems fine. We can defocus on this one and go down and look here. Well, here it seems very good. And then we go page down and page down. Okay, guys, so you have to go page down until the end of the composition. But now you can simply zoom at 100%. Okay, if you want to do a shortcut, press spacebar, and After Effects will start searching and rendering and trying to do it as best as possible. You need to stop it as soon as you find a mistake. Don't go to the end and then find a mistake. Like we have a mistake over here, but I'm gonna let it go. We are almost at the end. Okay, so now it has completed, but we still have this mistake we need to take care of. It's just over here. So let's see where it started. It started just here. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna zoom in, and of course, I'm gonna use the -1, selecting foreground, or this selecting foreground, and here you are. Now I'm gonna go page down and see exactly if it's gonna grab it a bit more. You notice this has happened because the colors here are very similar. So I'm gonna go again. It seems it's working fine. Yes, so one single correction is enough to do it for all the other frames. Okay, press space bar. Let's zoom at 100% again. And I think we are very cool doing this rotoscoping. So we still need it to render. This green line has to come till the end. So actually it will render in the background and it will come till the end. Here you are. Notice now it's gonna work. Fine. Let's go to the composition now and see exactly if you have done a good job. Here you are. I press space bar and it's pretty cool. Actually, it's very good job. Considering that I was trying to talk to you and stories like this, I've done a very good job, and I hope guys you will copy me and you go easy on it. Don't go pressing space bar, rush. Be meticulous and you will not have any problems, for the whole video. That's very cool. Fine. So now that we have done the rotoscoping, we have the photographer taking a photo of nothing. In the next lecture, we add a video background and adjust the colors. See you then.